here's Brody Brazil.
Across the last couple years, but especially within the last, 7 to 8 months, it's been really interesting to watch the A's and their relationship with two totally different regions. First, and obviously, there's Oakland, their home of more than 50 years, the place where they own half the Coliseum land, the place where they also got so many approvals for Howard Terminal, but just never could turn concept into reality for whatever reason. And on that note, April 19th is when they turned all their focus to the other region, Las Vegas, where currently they have the approval of baseball to relocate. They also have, at this moment, $380 million of public funding through the state of Nevada and Clark County. That could change, but at this moment, they've got that going. They've also got 9 acres of free land at the site of the Tropicana Hotel. But all that established, it seems like it might actually take even a third region to make Las Vegas, the ultimate destination, a reality. And I'm thinking Sacramento right now. I know it's been mentioned along the process and a possibility here and there, but I'm truly realizing that if it is going to be that third bridge city, Sacramento, for a lot of different reasons, kind of fits the bill. And so it's my suspicion, it's my intuition, it's my inclination right now that Sacramento somehow, at some point, in some way, in some shape or fashion, is going to play a role. If shovels are in the ground in Las Vegas, I do think that Sacramento will be part of bridging the A's there. And I'll explain all of this in the course of this video, but I also need to say this from the very start, before anything and everything else. Everything you're about to hear are my thoughts only. This is educated speculation. I mean, I don't know anything special. I'm not leaking anything. I'm not sharing a secret I'm not supposed to. I'm not trying to spread rumors or whispers. This is none of that. Because I'm not even sure that the actual decision makers of this process, I don't even know if they know the answers or how this is going to play out. So I feel confident sharing with you right now stuff that's coming from the heart, the brain, the pieces I'm putting together, and a lot of thought I've been putting towards this process. And again, Sacramento has been mentioned here and there, but now that things are starting to narrow in, again, if this process goes that far and goes down this road, Sacramento seems like it might be part of it. And a large portion of that is my suspicion that Oakland wants nothing to do with a new lease for the A's for 2025, 2026, and 2027 at the Coliseum. You understand that this upcoming season, 24, is year 10 of a 10-year lease. The A's are paying a little over $1 million to play at the Coliseum. That was the arrangement. That was the agreement. And in my mind, the only way that there's any kind of extension is if that money goes way, way up. Like $20 million a year for 3 years to the tune of $60 million. That's something that might be hard for Oakland to turn down. But that's also something that might be a difficult conversation for the A's to have. That much money for something that they were only paying $1 million for the year prior. Because anything less than that, I don't know that the two sides can truly see eye to eye together. You've got Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao, who has influence on the Coliseum Joint Powers Authority, who would be the ones to come up with a lease like this for a tenant like the A's. Then you've got baseball's commissioner, Rob Manfred, who has said all along that there was never a deal for the A's in Oakland. The mayor has asked the commissioner to keep the team's name and colors. She's also asked for the opportunity of an expansion team. The commissioner has said, we're not doing that at this point. There's been a lot of tension, a lot of back and forth between those two parties over recent months. And so it's my feeling, my suspicion that Oakland, unless the money is huge and the money is there, they really don't want to play a part in extending this and helping the A's bridge themselves to a new home. There's also been that option thrown out there, which I find interesting. Oh, the A's can easily just go across the bay and play their home games at Oracle Park. From a logistics standpoint alone, that is incredibly difficult. This is not 3 weeks, 3 homestands, 3 months. This is 81 games times 3 seasons. It's a difficult setup from a logistical standpoint, a home, and maybe an additional road clubhouse. how to actually facilitate the A's and players if there are two different home cities like San Francisco and maybe Sacramento. How would revenue structures work? How much of ticket prices would be shared and concessions and parking and merchandise and all that stuff? I'm not saying this is impossible, and I really don't even know the Giants' position or perspective on this. I'm just saying no matter what, that's a lot of work to try and get a deal like that done for the A's to play their games at Oracle Park. But maybe it would be easier if the A's only played some of their games in San Francisco, just a small portion, and they played the large majority, or maybe even all of them, in Sacramento. Sutter Health Park used to be called Raley Field. It's now about 25 years old. Did it open right around 2000? And it's fine. There's no problem with it now, no complaints. I've been there a bunch of times. I think it's great. I think it's great for Sacramento. But this opportunity might be the perfect reason and excuse for somebody like the A's to come in and have to inject some money. And because this is the Giants AAA affiliate, the River Cats used to be the A's affiliate, and the city of Sacramento to all get together and say, let's figure out a way to benefit from this, to make this work, and then improve the ballpark because of this. We're right about that 25-year mark, and facilities tend to break down, or they need a little bit of a reboot. And maybe this is that opportunity for Sutter Health Park. A fixer-upper. I don't know if that's a fair term, but maybe this is the chance to do a little remodeling on the ballpark. And maybe this is more preferable for the Giants. Hey, they don't have to share Oracle Park. Their AAA team gets a boost to their ballpark, and they kind of just get to benefit from all of this. So maybe that's another reason why Sacramento and the ballpark there are part of this project. Sacramento is also far more reachable by car from the Bay Area. And I'm just saying for players, for team employees, for anybody that needs or wants to make that trek from the Bay Area up 80 to get to Sacramento, this is certainly more convenient than any of those other third-party cities that have been mentioned. I mean, talk of the A's going to Salt Lake City to play in that now vacant, they're about to have a vacant AAA ballpark there, or sharing Angel Stadium, or all the different things that you've heard. Playing in Mexico City, for example. Those would be all costly and difficult ventures. This just seems easy. Not as easy as Oracle Park, but maybe actually easier beyond the drive, maybe the setup and the space and what they could do at Sutter Health Park. Maybe this is the easiest thing to do. Maybe this is the most convenient place for that temporary home. It's also a good test for Sacramento, I guess. But why are you testing Sacramento? I love the way that Sacramento has always shown up for the Kings. And oh yeah, by the way, that franchise was in a very similar situation as the A's are in now with relocation. They had some better steps along the way, like the NBA voted against relocation of the Kings, but Sacramento crushes it for the Kings. You don't really need to test the market to see if baseball would work there. I'm not saying it's an instant translation that it would, but why are we testing this market unless Major League Baseball would actually ever consider expanding there? And I don't know with their list of cities and what they've got going in their brains to go from 30 to 32. I don't know that Sacramento is on the list, and definitely not a frontrunner at this point. So what does Sacramento have to gain by showing up and showing out in this temporary hosting of the A's? You know what I mean? If there was something to gain for them, I'd feel better about it. But I'm not sure what's left for them if the A's go there and ultimately depart from there. So again, it's just something to keep an eye on. Sacramento. By the way, Major League Baseball's 2025 schedule, I think, is going to have to get shaped up pretty soon. And I know people say, well, it doesn't really matter if the A's are in Oakland or Sacramento. It's a West Coast city. No, I think it does really matter. Teams are trying to book their travel, their stays, their plans. Obviously, free agents and players want to know if they're going to play for the A's, where will that be in 2025? So I think a lot of this is going to have to get figured out quickly. Quite honestly, I'm surprised that we're still here in to almost late December of 2023, and we still don't even know. It's kind of amazing. I'd have to think a decision comes on this sooner than later, and I just kind of wanted to put the spotlight on Sacramento. Like I said before, it's my gut instinct right now that they will somehow be a part of this. You've made it to the end of this video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. And also, don't forget, subscribe to this channel so I can definitely see you back here next time.